Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/Malicious Compliance. In today's episode, get rid of my vacation? Have fun replacing me. No visible tattoos. Hiring a person on the shortest notice and expecting everything in an instant. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Get rid of my vacation? Have fun replacing me. I originally posted this as a comment on another thread, but realized it needed its own limelight. I worked at a company that gave out exorbitant amounts of vacation. Anyone who worked there for 25 plus years received 8 weeks of vacation and 2 weeks of personal time. This was a family-owned company, but rather large. We ran 3 shifts, totaling 250 plus people. Enter Jimmy. Jimmy was a grizzled old man. He started at the company when he was just 20, now he was 63, and gave absolutely zero shits. Jimmy also knew how to make a specific part for our product, him and one other higher up in the office. One day the plant owner comes out and announces he's selling to a corporation. He's older and ready to retire. He promises that there will be very little change and wishes us all well. The new company comes in and immediately goes after many of the great benefits we had. The first thing they do is cut everyone's max vacation down to 4 weeks, and do completely away with personal time. Anyone who's maxed out had until December 31st of that year to use it up, and they wouldn't pay it out. They then go into the office and clean house, firing anyone who's close to retirement, including Jimmy's backup. But they also do away with one very important rule. You no longer have to get vacation approved, you can just call in and take it. Jimmy is pissed, and they know it. They realize he's the only one in the building that can do his job now. So they hire a new kid for him to train, most likely to permanently replace Jimmy. So Jimmy does what anyone would do. He calls in the first training day for the new hire, and lets us know he's going to use all of his PTO at once, and promptly takes 10 weeks off. We had a back stock of parts he had made, so it wasn't too unnerving. But for 10 weeks, Jimmy went and applied to other jobs, found one, and started. Fast forward 10 weeks, it's the day Jimmy is supposed to return. He doesn't. For 2 days, they try calling him, and even go to his house. He's nowhere to be found. Finally on day 3 he calls and resigns, and they lose their shit. The parts he makes are specialized and patented by the original founder. You can't just hire someone off the street to make them. What eventually happened was they had to contract the original owner to come in and teach some new hires how to make them, and when he found out what all they had done, it pissed him off. The last I heard, he charged them a 7-figure contract to teach them how to produce the parts, and they had to pony up or close down. Moral of the story: don't mess with people's vacation time. Edit: Jimmy made an electronic control module that was sealed and stayed fixed in a port unit made of a 2-part epoxy. Edit 2: Jimmy didn't exactly miss out on a 7-figure contract and had zero chance to take one. He left, said F***CKM, and moved on. When they contacted the previous owner and explained the situation, it was basically a "you need my help? It'll cost 1 mil" type of conversation. Final update: thank you everyone for all of the attention this received. I had no idea this would blow up like this. I have immediate family working with the company still, so if I hear of any more rumblings I'll fill you all in. Also, I worked here for 4 years. I have a few other Jimmy stories I may post at other times on the appropriate Reddits. Thank you all again. Jimmy is a beast. Good for him. The former owner is a beast. He should probably give some of that 7 figures to Jimmy, but probably didn't. Company is sold. New owners say nothing will change. Lots of stuff changes for the worse. A tale as old as time. You forgot all the good people leave. As an old guy who has been a tech exec at dozens of companies, including being brought in on takeovers, let me confirm that this is so real. Not as bad as entitled next generation owner whelps who haven't a clue about running anything and then go firing key people in a hissy fit, crippling the company. Both outsiders and next-gen owners have rarely a clue about the secret sauce that made the original owner so successful. Better than average vacation or share options make for far better employees. Alter that at your peril. Kind of sad that in America having 8 weeks of vacation after 25 years is considered exorbitant, when plenty of civilized countries mandate 6 weeks minimum for everyone. This country sure does hate workers. I once spent months building a forecasting model to forecast how many people we'd need to process varying increases in workloads due to an expected, albeit unknown, change to workloads. Was promised before and during the time I spent building this, that I was oh so valuable, and they had a positioning opening up soon which I would be a shoo-in for. Surprise surprise, I finished the model, and shortly after an email goes round to my department saying that the role was being merged into another and given to someone else. I was understandably unhappy, both due to the way of finding out I could no longer go for the role I was promised, but also that it wasn't available anymore. I immediately started looking for jobs, found one quickly which paid more and had an easier commute, so handed in my 4 weeks notice. No one bothered to ask me to hand over the model I spent so long making, and even after telling my manager that someone needed to be taught it, when I left I was the only one who knew how it worked. Guess who got a call a couple of weeks after leaving because my old team couldn't work out the model? Told them I would explain as much as I could in 10 minutes, but after that they were on their own. So they never tried to contact the backup and rehire him? Another moral of the story, if only 2 people in the company know how to do critical function X, don't go below 2 people ever who know how to do that. Get a third person trained on doing it before releasing either of the original 2. No visible tattoos. Years ago, I worked in the deli section of a grocery store. It was with the kind of people that get a promotion and immediately forget where they came from and have unrealistic expectations of you. I had to slice meat and cheese for customers, make sandwiches, make all the fried foods, wings, fried chicken, potato wedges, etc. When I was hired, I had my sleeves rolled to just below my elbow and I talked to the hiring manager about my tattoos. It's the names of my kids, so nothing offensive. Anyway, about a year after I'm there, they decide that tattoos and piercings are against dress code. Anyone with piercings had to take them out and anyone with tattoos had to cover them up. Since my tattoos go down to my wrists, I asked if that went for me as well, because I am handling people's food all day, and if my sleeve gets dirty, I don't want it near someone's sandwich or something. They scoffed at me and told me that I should have thought about future employment when getting my tattoo. So I figured I can't break the rules, so I won't. The next day, as the main bosses of the store were walking around, I had my sleeves down to my wrists, but I was making fried chicken, so my shirt was soaked in chicken blood all the way up to my elbows. We had to cook 3 boxes every morning, about 150 pounds of chicken, and I was halfway through the 3rd box. When they yelled at me to stop what I was doing, I just innocently asked, "What's wrong, can you see my tattoo?" They didn't answer me, one just stared mouth agape, and the other looked like he was trying to set me on fire with his mind. So I said, "Well, if there's nothing else, I'm almost done here, and I'll start making sandwiches." They told me to go ahead and go home for the day. They tried to fire me, but since it was documented that I asked about long sleeves being unsanitary and I was basically told sucks to suck, they can't fire me for following the rules they set in place. So they tried to start cutting my hours, so I said, very publicly again, that it felt like retaliation for the sleeves thing. So I said I would need to speak with a lawyer. I couldn't afford one, but they didn't know that. And finally, a month later, they told me that I was allowed to have my sleeves rolled up while working behind the counter. To which I responded, "I actually found another job. They've been there for 2 weeks. Have the day your employees think you deserve." We had a manager at the grocery store I worked at who was an unnecessary stickler. To his credit though, when I pointed out that the employee handbook said mustaches were forbidden, he shaved his off. The guy with the tattoos was fine, no rules about that fortunately. So, could the manager have tattooed his mustache back on? Attention shoppers. Will everyone please come to the deli section and witness 3 upper-level managers shit their pants while I explain their policy of wearing clothes to cover up non-offensive tattoos has created a health code violation in which everyone here should be tested for food poisoning? Attention shoppers! Today in our deli department we are running a special. When you purchase any item you will receive a complimentary side of salmonella. Make sure to hurry over and claim yours today, and thank you for shopping at Foodborne Pathogen Mart and have a great day. Guess this was a while ago. Good luck finding people without tattoos to do these kind of jobs today. Any minimum wage job that still prohibits visible tattoos is going to suffer under that hilariously antiquated mindset when it comes time to hire staff. And not only is it outdated and needlessly restrictive, I found that employers who ban tattoos are the worst people to work for. Massive red flag that their other rules are going to be insanely restrictive for no reason. Obviously, facial tattoos or inappropriate word/graphic tattoos are another story. My manager gave a big speech with slides about how important it is to adhere to the dress code, including no unnatural hair colors, and singled out the only member of staff with pink hair. She also stressed the importance of not having more than one stud, earring in, and definitely no facial piercings. I don't know how the hell she stood there and said all that while wearing a nose ring. My colleague and I went out and got our noses pierced a week later. Not a word was said. Hiring a person on the shortest notice and expecting everything in an instant. Right now I am the sole IT personnel. Both my colleagues are on a well-deserved vacation. So naturally I am very busy, and with 3 projects coming to an end in a few weeks it's impossible to do that and all daily tasks. 2 days ago the higher-ups informed us at roughly 9 p.m. that the next day a new employee would start. As expected, I did not have login credentials ready when the employee started yesterday at 7 a.m. After I got into the office I was asked what happened and I explained that I can't create a login while asleep. I was told that this person is highly skilled and needs to work ASAP. I told them it needs time and they will get the credentials within the day. So I created the user and scheduled the mail with the credentials to 11:55 p.m. Got asked today why it was so late and I told them I delivered in time and I can't split myself into 2 people. Don't you love it when that happens? Like, this is Tom, he started 3 days ago and he needs a computer and account yesterday, especially when there is no stock. Or, oh yeah, this guy quit 3 months ago, can you disable his access? I bet they think it's just a matter of picking a fresh laptop out of the cupboard and handing it over to the new employee. They don't think it needs a user account setting up, creating all the access rights in all the systems and then configuring the laptop with what apps they need. Nicely done on your part, making sure you do it right rather than doing it too fast. But why are you even looking at work stuff at 9 p.m. anyway? You only got informed this morning, as who reads work mails at 9 p.m., so the delivery was really fast. Don't even start arguing about that you have too much other stuff to do. It sounds like an excuse and they don't know/care. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.